News, views, voices of the global Indian community. India abroad.
Okay. Namaste and Hare Krishna. Just a few days ago, we had a very interesting event in the United Nations headquarters here in New York City. And the opportunity and the context was to share India's accomplishments in Sustainable Development Goal number 2, Zero Hunger, and the contributions of Akshaya Patra Foundation towards the same. You know, in our country we have many food programs. One of them is what is called the PM Poshan program. It was formerly known as a midday meal program, and now it has been renamed so that the Prime Minister takes cognizance and his attention is there on this very important program. And this is largest school meal program anywhere in the world. 120 million children are benefited by this program. And so this program had different kinds of implementation methods. Now the last 20 years has been a cooked meal program. So in other words, in every school a kitchen is set up, and there are 1 or 2 or 3 people involved in cooking food, and the school headmaster only supervises this and the teachers supervise, and they prepare meals and distribute to the children. You know, in our country, which is very diverse and very big population, 1.4 billion people, even very well conceived, very well funded, very well planned programs, the challenge for the government is implementation. In our country, actually, there are very, very good welfare programs. The challenge is the implementation because of the complexities that are involved. So in the very early stage in 2003, the government of India made an important policy decision. While the government was implementing this program through their machinery, they also allowed and invited NGOs to participate in this and gave the NGOs a bit of an operational freedom to improve the efficiency and of this program. And that is how Akshaya Patra came into picture. Of course, we were feeding a few years before that in a small way on our own. But when we started working with the government, we got the support and the strength to do it on a bigger scale. You know, that's what happens when you do with public-private partnership. So Akshaya Patra, we developed a model to set up a centralized kitchen where we cook large number of meals and distribute to the schools. So we set up kitchens where we can prepare 25,000 meals or 50,000 meals or even 100,000 meals in one place. Because of a centralized kitchen, we are able to use technology. We are able to monitor better. We are able to ensure the nutritional profile in a very consistent manner. Over 100,000 meals, 50,000 meals. And because of the scale, we are able to get the advantages of cost efficiencies and implement food safety measures. So this is what a centralized kitchen provides. And then the meal is cooked by about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the vehicles transport the food to the schools, say about 2 hours drive. So by 12:30 the schools have received the meals, and they are in big stainless steel containers, manageable containers, not very big. And when the teachers are and the midday meal workers are involved, they distribute the food to the school, and at that time it is steaming hot. So this has been our model, and last 24 years we have been doing this. It started in ISKCON Bangalore temple 24 years back, started in a small way. Today in Bangalore we have 4 kitchens, and we are serving 2 lakh children. And like this we have expanded all over the country in 16 states. We are having 72 centralized kitchens, and we are serving 2.1 million children every day in about 24,000 schools, government schools. We only serve in government schools and government aided schools, because that's where the children from underprivileged families come, and that's where the need is most. So the program, and we work with the government, both central government and state governments. And the stated objective of this program by the Government of India is to address classroom hunger and nutritional requirements of children. And that is how we have been working. And in Akshaya Patra, our mission statement is that no child should be deprived of education because of hunger. And that's how we feed only in schools. So they come to school, and the meal is an attraction for these children. They stay in school, they come to school, they stay in school. We have heard of many anecdotal examples are there, where the father told the son, my dear son, you have finished your 8th standard now, you must go and work. And then the son wanted to study more. And then he said, no, father, there is a meal being provided in the school. I will stay on. Oh, okay, at least one meal is coming from the school. Then you can stay. And he stayed in the school, did his 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And later on, we were tracking him. He was in touch. Because he was a bright student. Later on, he joined engineering. We gave a scholarship to him. And then he joined HCL Computers. See, he could have dropped out from the school, and we would have lost a computer engineer in the country. So this program has done wonders, and all over the country. And we have seen in Akshaya Patra, in our cluster of schools and children that we have been involved in, daily wage workers. Now their daughter is a chartered accountant. Another bus conductor, bus driver, son, now he's become an economist in London School of Economics, studying there. All kinds of, there is immense talent in our country. That is the strength of our country, all over the country, length and breadth of the country. It's immense talent. And that is why we say that this midday meal program, it is not really it is not an expenditure, but it is an investment in human resource development of the country. From our experience, we see that this is a very effective program. At the ground level, it is really producing great results. And I would say another thing. In the last 24 years, the Government of India has also, 24 years is a good length of time. And they have been improving and evolving the policies. And today, as it stands, it's not only a food security program, it's a nutrition security program. So when you have a large network of schools and kitchens and service going on, and you can stabilize it, and you can ensure that not only a meal goes, the meal has a right nutrition, and especially in Akshaya Patra we have ensured that the meal has the right energy level, protein level, macronutrients, vitamins and micronutrients. So that way it is ensuring a nutritional security of these vulnerable sections of the society. So in that sense it has evolved, and it is continuing to give benefits to the country, and the governments have seen the advantage, and they are continuing to invest and do even better. So the children now, enrollment has increased, attendance has stabilized, energy levels of children has improved in the classroom, outside the classroom. They are able to do well in academics, they are able to do well in extracurricular activities. So in all respects there has been benefits. And in Akshaya Patra, one other important thing, that feedback we have received from the headmasters is, because Akshaya Patra provides the meal and the meal is ready to be just distributed to the children, the teachers and the headmasters have been freed from this burden of running a program so that they can focus on academics. There was one study by a group, and they found that about 18 to 22% of the working hours of the teacher are spent on midday meal program. So once we come into picture, Akshaya Patra comes into picture, that 20 or 22% of the teacher's time gets freed so that teachers can do their academics much better. So that's what our model has brought in. And in our model, the cost of meal is higher than what the government provides. Our meal costs about 15 rupees. The government provides 7 rupees, 8 rupees in different parts of the country. So we have to raise another 7 to 8 rupees from donors. So the government of India's CSR program has also been a corporate social responsibility for corporate business. Businesses have been another very big support for Akshaya Patra. We set up large kitchens, and the kitchens cost a certain amount of money to prepare 50,000 meals. Many of these business houses contribute from their CSR contributions to set up these kitchens. So we are able to, converge the government policies, the government programs, welfare programs, and those funds, the CSR funds, and individuals' contribution. Because development of a country, it cannot be left only to the government. Of course, government will play a big role, and has to play a big role. But even the civic societies can participate in that development story of the country. And especially in our country, where IITs, IIMs, government colleges, medical colleges, and the education is practically free. And the government is spending. Now you are all in America, you know what is the cost of higher education in America for students to do a bachelor's program or a master's program. It's quite expensive.
Yeah, not more than 5% of the students come out debt-free after the college.
See, so already they are coming out of the college, they are immersed in debt.
Yes.
So, and in our country, you hardly spend anything to get your master's degree in an IIT or a bachelor's degree IIT or IIM. So, government has spent so much money on education of our students, and so they should, and they are all doing well. They are doing well in India, they are doing well in this country, they are doing everywhere in the world, and so they must also contribute. So this is another message that we have for the Indians, educated Indians who are doing well, and we have all enormously benefited from the government's contribution. So we must contribute for the primary school. And this way, you see, even development experts say, among all the different interventions for poverty alleviation, nutrition and education are the foremost. When the child is well fed, has a nutritious food, his immunity systems, his cognitive development, all of these things are ensured. And if it's a girl child, intergenerational, multi-generational nutritional requirements are also addressed. And that way, the child is less prone to become sick and become dependent again on the public health system. And also gets educated, and once you are educated, you can come out of the cycle of poverty. So, nutrition and education are so vital for a developing country, and hence it is so important that this program is done well, and everyone should participate in this program. That's what we feel.
So at the UN event, you said 40 diplomats of 40 countries attended it, right? Both during the public meeting and at the event itself, in your conversation. What did you hear from them?
They were all,
And
they were all very fascinated to hear about such a large program of the country, of Government of India. It is unprecedented. Nowhere in the world it is happening to this scale. And from the government's performance point of view and from an NGO's performance point of view, in both respects, there was a lot of appreciation. And our chairman announced that, the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which our Honorable Prime Minister is also strongly speaking about. It's about the passion for global well-being. It's not only my family, my state, my country should do well. The whole world is my family, and everyone should do well. There should be no poverty. Today there is, the economic progress the world has seen, the technological progress the world has seen, and the business progress the world has seen in every respect. It is a very remarkable moment in history, but still there are poor children. There is poverty, there is lack of access to education. This is not acceptable. We have to do something.
So in that context,
So that was one of the announcements our chairman of Akshaya Patra Foundation, Shri Madhu Pandit Das, made, that we are happy to share the model, our experiences, and work with governments if the government invites us, and we are happy to set up a kitchen and run it for them. In the past, there have been some, occasional interest like that, but this time there was a lot more serious interest. There were ambassadors from Sri Lanka, Nepal, our immediate neighbors, Bhutan. They were all there. And later on also we had some discussions with them. And in fact, we have been having some discussions last 1 year with some of these governments, and they are inviting us, and we hope to take that forward. Just as we were having a program here, I think that 2 days after our program, there was a delegation from headed by a deputy minister from Indonesia, visiting one of our kitchens to understand our model and inviting us to come and feed children in Indonesia. So I think there is a lot of interest, and we will pursue all these requests that have come, and these invitations. If some of them fructify, we'll be happy to participate and share the Akshaya Patra model and our experience for the benefit of children in those countries also. Right. In Akshaya Patra, we have been constantly improving, and we have one technique known as, it's a Japanese technique used in manufacturing industry called Kaizen. Kaizen means continuous improvement in Japanese. So we implemented this program about 10 or 12 years back in Akshaya Patra. Because Akshaya Patra has about, in these 72 kitchens, we have 9,000 employees. Out of 9,000 employees, probably 8,750 employees are blue-collar employees. Because it's largely manufacturing kind of a thing. And so Kaizen is a very interesting technique. The lowest in the plant, in the kitchen, the smallest worker can contribute ideas for improvement, and it is captured, and then there is a very interesting systematic way of capturing an idea, and testing it, piloting it, and implementing it, and expanding it, and sharing it with other kitchens. So it goes through all this, from the idea generation to idea implementation to idea sharing. And what is its cost benefit? This improvement has helped in either cost efficiency or time efficiency or labor efficiency, has made things easier to work. So all of these are captured in this. We use that Kaizen techniques. Another thing that we have been doing is, we are piloting now, is that on the one hand we have large kitchens. We also want to try smaller kitchens where there are only 1000 meals prepared and distributed to in about 4 or 5 schools in an electric vehicle, so that there is no, it's more green. And so some of these models and ideas we are experimenting, we are trying. We have tried one more model last 1 year only in Uttar Pradesh. We have set up a kitchen which is all women kitchen. It's also a small kitchen, about 10,000. From the security guard to the driver, everybody is only women. Only the night security guard is a man. But otherwise the daytime security is also women. And so it is running very well, and brought a lot of women from nearby. The senior ones are from the towns. The rest of them are from the local village. And we are running that kitchen very well. So like this, a cluster kitchen, a smaller kitchen, all women kitchen, these are some of the models that we are trying. Another important initiative we are attempting is breakfast program. Because you see, the meal, midday meal is at about 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The child has come in the morning. The first half of the school class, the child could be hungry. And in fact, it has
Greater chances they are hungry.
there are much higher chances they are actually hungry. We did a pilot of this one. You know, these children, the school starts at 9 o'clock, but these children who come from families, very vulnerable families, first time somebody is going to a school in their family, they don't have that sense that schools have to start at 9, our child has to be at 8:55 in the classroom. Anything from 9 o'clock to 9:30, 9:45, children keep coming into the classroom. So when we introduced the breakfast program, we would start at 8:45. By 8:45, by 9 o'clock, 100% attendance. You know, so so we see that there is a breakfast, there is a great need for a breakfast program in our country, and that will also help the energy levels, that will help nutrition profile of children. So we have been piloting that, and we are trying to do it on a bigger scale. Just a few hours ago, we had another meeting here about our breakfast program, expanding breakfast program in different parts of the country.
Wonderful.
So
Great.
that's it. By the very definition, this has to be the midday meal program. The Government of India policy is that it has to be a freshly cooked meal.
Okay.
It cannot be a pre-cooked mix where you mix it with hot water. That has not been permitted, and we have also not, you know, our model also has been, we want to give a freshly cooked meal.
It is much more nutritious.
Number one, nutritious. Number two, there is less pilferage.
Right.
You know, when you do on a big scale, pilferage is, if it is a hot cooked meal, you have to consume it in 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours. You can't, hide it away, transport it somewhere, try to sell it and make some money.
Very valid point. More important.
Very important point. On a large scale in our country, we know maybe there will be some pilferages, some inefficiencies and all those kind of things. You know, when you do on a large scale, undoubtedly there will be 120 million children. It's not a small number in the country. But because it is a cooked meal program, it is reaching children and someone who is in need of food, it is reaching. And I think the pilferages are very less. This was one of the important ideas. This idea came from when Tamil Nadu implemented the midday meal program long ago. And later on, government of Gujarat implemented a midday meal program in some select districts. And government of Kerala did this. And then in the year 2003, the Supreme Court gave an order, and now today it has become all over the country. So this is the important thing about. So I think it has merits, and we have continued to maintain that. And you know that pre-cooked and then transporting and mixing, the cost goes even higher because of various reasons. The technology is such that there is an initial investment which is also very high. So we have not attempted that. I think this model of freshly cooked meal and try to transport it quickly. Our vehicles are insulated vehicles. Our vessels are insulated vessels. And so according to nutritional science, the temperature should be above 65 degrees, because below 65 degrees microbial activity begins and the food can go bad. So you have to keep it above 65 degrees. There is no deterioration of food. And so our food is usually at about 75 to 80 degrees because it's hot cooked and it is put into the containers and locked and closed. And I think even well before that. Zero hunger will not be such a big challenge for India. It is a challenge. I'm not oversimplifying it. But India has made significant strides. You see, we have the midday meal program. We have the Anganwadi program, which is for children from 0 to 6 years or 5 years or so. And we have a pregnant mother program. We have a nursing mothers program. And young adolescent girls program. So India has a lot of programs, good programs to address hunger. And I think we are doing very well for a large country like ours. And in the last 20 years, both the central government is involved in it, state governments are involved in it. And we have seen that in 24 years, we have worked with all kinds of governments, both at the center and the state. And we have seen that that seriousness about feeding children and educating them and providing nutritious food, safe food, is there across all parties and governments. And so that's a very, very encouraging thing. And we are making great progress in our country, I would say.
Wonderful, that's great. Thank you so much.